Welcome to Be the Glitter, the podcast where we talk about tough topics with giggles and leave inspiration that sticks. I'm your host, Laura Paisley Beck, aka Wham, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have Laveréna Wienclaw, who goes by Réna, joining us. Réna is a powerhouse entrepreneur who co-founded New Valley Labs, a startup studio to support LGBTQIA plus founders in Cleveland. She's also who I like to call a volunteer goddess, working with organizations like Food Strong, Out in Tech, and Global Shapers. In today's conversation, we're diving deep into authenticity in business, the power of showing up as your true self, and why diversity isn't just the right thing to do, it's incredibly profitable. We'll hear Réna's inspiring story of rebelling against the boring corporate blue and how that shift to being authentically queer changed everything. Plus, we'll talk about the importance of allies stepping up and being visible, especially in these challenging times. So grab your favorite tea, maybe some homegrown lemon verbena if you have it, and let's get into this beautiful conversation about being authentically you and creating spaces where everyone can thrive. Réna, welcome to the Be the Glitter podcast, where we talk about tough topics with giggles and leave inspiration that sticks.
Oh, I love that. No, I'm thinking of glitter stuck all over my body, and I'm like, that's the kind of inspiration I need on me.
I love it. I love it. I think you are such glitter in my perspective because I love how you're like one of who I consider fabulous friends. You're her best friend, and you've helped her so much. She recommended that we have this time together, and I think she was totally spot on that. So if you don't mind, could you please introduce yourself as how you would like to be known?
Hi, I'm Laveréna Wienclaw. My pronouns are she, they, and I go by my nickname Réna, which is the last four letters of my first very long, laborious name.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I love that you and Allie founded a really cool startup studio. And you're also like the volunteer queen or goddess, I should say. Which would you like to talk about first? Maybe New Valley Labs. Can you talk about
Yeah,
the origin story behind it and any fun updates that are going on with it?
yeah, definitely. It's been a long story. But yeah, so it started with Allie and I both lived in Akron at the time, 2 or 3 years ago, and we met up after years of being apart. We had gone through an accelerator together. We had both been working on different businesses at the time. I think around 2018, 2019. So we like met as just like fellow entrepreneurs in a cohort, and we just knew each other briefly. And then we saw each other again years later at a little concert, a little local show. We both love music, and so supporting local artists is somewhere you can definitely find us most often. So she invited me to Hack Nights in Cleveland, and I was like, okay, I would love to be around people like building something again. Like I've gotten a little bored at my day job. Things are stagnating a little bit. I want to get back to doing something fun with people. I'd done a lot of hackathons in my time at college. And so we talk about projects. People would bring like little things they were working on and just like hanging out, bringing together a community of people like building things. And after a while, we started complaining. We were like, there are so many amazing people working on amazing things. And where is the support for them to take these ideas into the market as businesses? Why doesn't Cleveland focus on the pre-seed, the early stage, the riskiest stage of startups and founders and entrepreneurs? Yeah, it's risky. It's incredibly risky, but there's just a drop off of support or a desert of support there. And so after weeks of like complaining, looking around like, why is no one fixing this? Like, where are the people that help? And then we were like looking around, I guess it's us. It has to be us. And so after fumbling around for a few months, like trying to imagine what even it would look like for us to be helpful to serve the people in our community, We eventually like accidentally recreated a startup studio. We didn't know what we were doing, and then we were looking it up, doing more research, and we were like, oh, this thing we're doing, it's studied. There are references now. There's stats. Okay, great. So we accidentally recreated a startup studio and then found out it was actually this thing that existed. We flew with that for a bit. And then the first year of New Valley Labs, I was not out. Allie was not out as she is today. We really tried to pass. We tried to, and both quietly, independently, we both tried to fit in. So as we were networking, trying to get our studio off the ground, we had a very boring, like blue and black engineer, I think Wix or whatever, like template website. It's not what it is today, of course, but after many months of going to these networking events, I just felt like this weight on me of I have to look like a business casual woman who is so normal and professional at all times. And I felt this immense pressure and weight to wear like black and gray slacks and high heel shoes and like really be that businesswoman that fits in. And I would get into conversations with rich white men and they hated me. They hated me. They didn't want to talk to me. If they wanted to talk to me, it was not about business. And so one
Or
day we're at,
placating. I hate that too, when it gets
yep,
all like they're talking down and they're being all condescending and yeah.
yep, I experienced a lot of that. And so during a circumstance like that, I had gone into a private event. Everyone's dressed in a full tux. I tried to talk to a couple of people. I'm the only woman I see in the room. I'm just looking around at this sea and I'm wearing like a floral blazer because I was like, you know what? I'm going to be me tonight a little bit, just a little bit.
I love that so hard.
And the look of just, gaudy. No one wanted to talk to me. I was shut out of conversations. There were a few people that said hello. They were polite, but it was clear they were not interested in talking to me about anything. So I walked outside, and as I walk outside, I see Allie had also escaped from the event. And I looked down and I'm like, Allie, did you shave your legs? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, I didn't shave mine. I like pull up my pant leg and I have like my hairy legs on display because that's how I feel comfortable in my body. I'm not shaving my legs. And we both have this moment of, are you a little gay? And so weeks and months after that conversation, where we're both like, wait, we came together as we're having a hard time fitting into these events. And so maybe we just stick together and don't fit in, but fit in with each other. And we started finding like power in that, like coupling up at networking events alongside our other co founders at the time. And so it just felt more comfortable to be like, okay, if we're going to be the eyesores in the room, we'll at least put ourselves in the same place. And so if you don't want to be near us, that's okay. And so for a while, we would just go in and just stand somewhere and wait for anyone to come talk, wearing what we wanted to wear, like putting on my floral blazers, being loud, not being business casual, laughing, chortling. People came to us, and that was amazing. And eventually, it led us to rebrand and rediscover like what we wanted to accomplish with New Valley Lab. So it used to be just a regular startup studio based in Cleveland, but we found a lot of euphoria in
I love it.
supporting the LGBTQ as the founders that were in those rooms and felt so uncomfortable. And so in this desert of resources, we really came to want to be an oasis. We wanted to be the island of colorful weirdos off in the corner where, hey, if you're having a hard time, come over here and have a break. It's okay. You can be with us. You can, it's fun. It's fun over here. And
Yeah.
we're here for you. So
You don't
that's,
have to act like you're at a funeral. Business funerals. It's, I don't know. All that
mhm,
black and gray is so boring. It's so
mhm.
dead.
It's, yeah, I don't want to mourn right now. I want to celebrate life while I'm still here. And so almost a year ago, we went through the rebranding process with John Johnson of a small studio, a very local, incredible person. They took us through their identity architecture and we rediscovered we don't just want to be this black and blue entity, business, whatever. We want to be ourselves. And they helped us create a website and branding that really felt like us. It felt punk rock. It felt cute. It felt floral. I love our little flower guys on our website. They bring me
I
so
love
much
your
joy.
flowers.
I love them so much. And
Dancing
so,
flowers. They got this
yes.
groove and this vibe to them. They're
Mhm.
all, Yeah, totally groovy. I could totally groove with that.
And so during that process, as we peel back the layers of blue and black and boring and the pressure to be business casual, the pressure to look straight and cisgender, the weight has lifted. And we now have people coming to us and they're like, hey, wow, I didn't know there were other queer people, queer entrepreneurs. And so I'm really happy to say that today we are that beacon. And while we are still very small, we're an incredibly small team. Like we have found our space, we have made space for other people. And it's just so gratifying to be able to be ourselves, be able to be honest and transparent and also loud. And then I think alongside that, like our coming out stories have coincided with our business. As we've rebranded our business, we've both come out publicly. And while I've never had like the formal conversation with my parents or a lot of people in my family, like I don't hide anything. They're not people that are on LinkedIn, but that was a big moment for me when I put queer founder, full stop, first thing in my LinkedIn bio. If you don't like that, sorry, you
Yeah.
can go. So there's a lot of power in that, and there was a lot of fear as well as like pressing send, ship it, print it. I'm like, is everyone gonna hate me? And I'm like, no, the right people are gonna love me. People are gonna find me,
Yeah.
and that's where I need to be. Like I don't need to live in fear or under the pressure of having to be something I'm not. I have found so much joy and peace in being who I am, and that's been really great.
I love that. And to me, also coming out like that and putting the rainbows in our LinkedIn descriptions and just all right there, it's like also a quiet census. No, seriously, there's a lot of queer professionals out here. We're not, I don't know what people think if they don't think that we're part of it, but I have rebelled against many local groups that just look like everyone is a cishet Barbie doll. And I just am like, nope, I'm not playing that game, not doing it. No, I'd much rather wear my platform Doc Martens and all my wild colors and show up where everyone is very much, let's rock this in a very different way.
Yeah, and I think I'm like coming upon the realization I've saved myself so much time and energy. Like I don't have to then lead on anybody in my business casual costume. And then
Yeah.
eventually they find out I'm queer. Oh no. I don't have to worry about that conversation anymore. I don't have to worry about a door that I thought was open closing in my face anymore. I don't have to waste my time and energy on conversations with people who were never going to open the door for me in the first place. I've saved myself so much time in that honesty and transparency and upfrontedness. And I think Ali has definitely received a lot of DMs from people who are like, it's amazing how you were so bravely out there. And like she is this purple and blue beacon in Cleveland and
Yeah.
locally and at every networking event. She's just like there and so outspoken and loud. And it's so important that we stay present.
Yeah.
We stay loud, we stay out of the closet.
Yeah. It's inspirational. It truly is. And it gives people permission for their authenticity as well, which I find to be just so fantastic and so important. So important. And let's talk about that, like how realistic it is that there should be this inclusivity because there are allies out there. I think there are more allies than we might even realize, but they might be afraid to come out as allies. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
different kind of coming out from. So I like to say, if you're not in with inclusivity, you're out of touch. What are your thoughts on that? Because you
Oh,
come at that from a great perspective.
yeah, it's like we're at a fragile point of time in history where there's a side, and do you want to be on the right side of history or the wrong side? Are you in with inclusivity or are you not? Do you care about DEI? Do you care about including a diverse presence in your workplace, in your life? Or do you not? What, where are you going to stand? And alongside that, this is where I can bring up some of the stats that are so lovely and prove that diversity and DEI is the right choice you can make for your business, for your life, for everything you do, because diverse perspectives bring about new innovation. So if you can't ethically, morally, or just vibe that you like diverse people around you, there's data to back up that you totally should. And you should try and figure out how to include that.
This is why you're on here, Réna. So, I was totally hoping that you would show up with your numbers. That's what I love about you.
I love my data. Okay, so companies with more diverse management teams have 19% higher revenues due to innovation. They have more ideas, they have more people, they're having more innovation, and that is making them more profitable. Don't come on, who hates more money? Who hates more money right now? Like we all could stand to cut an extra check. And then companies in the top quartile for gender diversity are 21% more likely to experience above average profitability.
And I think there's something that goes with that too. It's not just enough to have a diverse team. You have to listen to them and empower them as well. Otherwise, those numbers don't happen.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the profitability goes right out the window if you're constantly having turnover because you're treating the diverse employees like crap. So I think that's also something that's got to be part of the equation.
Yeah, I would love to see more data coming out about like how supported you feel at work. Do you feel like you are able to be out transparently at work or not? And how does that impact your ability to bring new ideas to your team?
Yeah, I bet you have more data you want to share. I see you looking.
I'm looking. I'm like, what else? What other juicy stats do I have?
Allie, talk about how for venture capitalists, too, even though the investor world is not giving anywhere near as much money to queer startups, that basically, if you give money to a queer startup, your chances of getting your return on your investment are much higher.
Yes, 100%. And that is because genderqueer, LGBTQIA plus people have to work a lot harder for a lot longer to prove to people that they are good at what they do. There's just a lot more work we have to do to convince people to listen to us. And like when we talk about venture capital and how fundraising looks for queer founders, it takes much longer to get a check, and there are a lot less checks written to LGBTQ queer founders. And if you're going to get it, it's going to take a lot longer than your white cisgender peers are going to like need to try. And so with that in mind, because we have to work so much harder, yeah, we're going to overperform. We've been working immensely hard. And so a big point of interest for us is that the potential for founders, especially diverse ones, is unrealized. We cannot quantify how successful diverse founders can be because we're not funding them right now. Like a very small percentage of diverse founders are getting the checks that they deserve. And so, what would happen if we radically accepted and radically invited them to the same conversations that we're having with every other type of founder? It'd be great.
Yeah,
I'm on it. I'm
kicking them in.
I'm bringing the hammer.
And then we'll throw a bunch of glitter and flowers on the floor and be like, don't worry, we made it anyway. You're also quite the volunteer goddess. And I know you don't like it when I call you that, but I'm hearing from others who love you that you are. And otherwise, we're going to use the word like superhero. So your choice. And I would love to hear about, because I do a lot of volunteer work too, but nothing compared to what you do. I know my own reasons why. There's just so much that comes from that. But if you wouldn't mind talking about who you volunteer for, why, what you get out of that, and the advice you have for those who can squeeze some time out of their lives to volunteer.
So I've been a community garden leader volunteer for the last 8, 9 years, maybe now in Akron. So many years ago, I wanted to find more space for my tea herb plants. One day I was like, why don't I start growing it myself and be a little apothecary fairy? And so I started seeds in my front porch. I was like, how could I do more? I Googled community garden near me, and I just drove to the nearest one. And I just looked around because there's no websites for community gardens. There's none. Sorry, there are some that have incredible online presences, but many gardeners you find are in their gardens. They are not online. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to get
a directory access. That needs to happen there.
And so I go to this garden, and I'm so lucky that I went in that exact moment, because the leading gardener was there. Like the lead gardener was just there, and they have a lot of other gardens that they're working on. And so it was a very rare chance to see them and be like, hey, can I come in? Hey. And they're like, okay, you want to flip compost? I'm like, yeah, I'll flip the compost. Let me in. So starting there, one of the other leaders, Lyle, incredible human being, there were no raised beds left for that growing season. But I'm like, that's okay. I'll do whatever. I'm still here. I still want to be part of this. He built me a raised bed. He built me a raised bed and added it on so I could have my own little bed. I found my community. And so after a few
Giving
years,
grows giving, I always find.
yes,
So when you
definitely.
give, it just breeds more giving. And gosh, I love that ecosystem. That's
Mhm.
so cool. So what do
And
you grow
so
in your little tea fairy garden? I would love to hear it because I love tea as well, both herbal and I used to be literally the crazy mint lady. I had a lot of different varieties of mints, and my banana mint I would sell to this
oh,
high-end restaurant that made a banana creme brulee. And so they loved not only the look of these tiny little slightly fuzzy banana flavored mint leaves, but the flavor also worked really well. So they were like, "We let us know what you're going to call yourself so we can put it on our menu." And I'm like, you might as well just call me the crazy mint lady. So
call it how it
as
is.
someone who can totally vibe on the herbs, I would love to hear what you're
Yes.
growing.
Every year, I always have holy basil or tulsi, also referred to as tulsi. Beautiful floral basil. Oh, I can smell it in my dreams. It's amazing. And then lemon verbena. So
Yes.
good. I've been working on some like perfume, like solid perfume recipes because I need to capture the real smell of lemon verbena. The soaps in the stores are lying to you. That is not how it smells. It smells so much better and so much more
It's so
green
much
and
better.
fresh.
Yeah.
And then just of course, like all the other standard herbs, mint, lemon balm, rose petals. I love drying and fermenting blackberry leaves, strawberry leaves. It doesn't taste exactly like the berries, but it does bring you
No.
like some similar like herbal, earthy taste.
Raspberry. I love adding raspberry
Mhm.
leaves to some of my herbal teas as well. It's supposed to be good for lady stuff.
I'll put anything in my tea. I'll put anything in my tea. I'll try anything. Fermenting leaves is a new thing I'm trying, but it does add like a another depth to the flavor. So if you have strawberry leaves or raspberry leaves, try fermenting them, looking into that. It does taste good. It is a little funky. It's a new thing to try.
Like I'm making my own vegan kimchi right now with a golden Napa cabbage I grew and all by myself. But I also pickled some edible mushrooms that we found way up north this past big like couple weeks ago, some saffron milky caps. And I pickled them at the campsite. Like
You are an outdoors person. Go.
so I'm really excited. We're gonna try them tonight at a dinner. I gotta try that.
Don't forget you have free will. You can do whatever you want.
I know, right? Chrysanthemum, do you have any like Chinese chrysanthemum in your garden?
Yes, edible chrysanthemum. I love the greens. I know it's edible, but girl, I love how it looks. I,
Oh, it's
I
so
just let it,
pretty.
it's
Then you
beautiful.
just add a little to a salad or to a
Yes.
tea and with your
Mhm.
lemon. Okay, we could talk about that forever. Where else do you volunteer? Because that's not the only thing you do.
No. So the freshest volunteer position I've taken on is out in tech. So an international organization. There is a Cleveland chapter that exists. So Ali and I met Daniel Dudley recently at GEC in Indianapolis. Oh, I'm so bad at acronyms. I can't remember what it stands for. But anyways, we met Daniel Dudley. They are an amazing person in Cleveland. We had to go all the way to Indianapolis to find a neighbor that we love and cherish very much. But they founded the Cleveland chapter of Out in Tech a few years ago. And then as COVID and life happened and some leadership turnover happened, it was hard to keep it going at the strength it was. It was shelved for a few years. And so now with Ali and I, and also Della, an amazing local person that's joined the leadership team, we are relaunching it. So we got together and worked on a grant submission at the end of July to try and get some local funding for events and having just a little bit more flexibility. And since this is fully voluntary work, being able to pay for venues and make sure if we bring in any performers, I would love to bring in a drag performer for some events. We want to make sure they're paid. But we also want to make
Yeah.
sure the events we provide remain free and accessible to our community. We don't want to put up barriers. We want people to come as they are and not have to feel any pressure to like give us any money or anything. So being able to have a little bit of grant money would be so good. We should hear in a month from now. But no matter what, we still want to be active and still want to do more. And so we're soft relaunching the chapter next Wednesday. So September 17th, 4:30 to 6:30, we have our first little happy hour during Cleveland Tech Week. We are hosting it at the W Sports Bar, which is Cleveland's first women-focused sports bar. It is an
Oh my
amazing
gosh.
little restaurant that was ideated a year ago and then finally launched this past spring. And already they have been such a miraculous source of goodness in the community and creating a beautiful third space for so many different types of events. There's also a watch party, I believe, for the finale of what is this series called? Something we fell in love this summer. I don't know, but they have just a wealth of diverse and different types of events. They have speed dating, they have trivia, all the standard amazing sports bar things, but just so much more inclusive and more fun and more like women and gender queer focused. And it is such a great space in Cleveland where we have such a sports personality. We are so sports here. We love the
I'm
Browns,
Wisconsin. I get it. Yep.
Guardians.
Wisconsin.
We love our Cavaliers. We have such a huge sports presence. So making space for women's sports teams as well as women who watch sports that don't necessarily want to be in very male spaces. So I love this
Yes.
place and I'm really stoked that we can host our first event here. So that's Out in Tech. That's what we're doing there. The goal is to host monthly or monthly-ish events. So we're starting here and we'll see where we go. I hope to many places,
Love it.
but I'm excited no matter what. So that's Out in Tech. I also recently joined the team of Global Shapers, if you're familiar with them. That is another international organization for young people that are interested in just helping the world and starting with a community focus. So starting with our Cleveland chapter focused on our community. So I'm still very new to the organization, but a lot of what we do is we attend local neighborhood meeting nights. So I live in Detroit Shoreway neighborhood. It's our goal as a club and as a chapter to go to some of these meetings and learn about what our community needs. We're not the people that determine what our community needs. We need to be great listeners and be able to go forward with that information and provide what we can. So we had a lot of fun things. I'm like out of breath. I'm excited.
I love it. So I'll talk for a short bit so you can catch your breath, because what I love about this is that we can find both local and international organizations to volunteer for. And I think when we can not only listen to what our local communities need and be there for them, but when we also extend our reach across the globe, like I like to do with this podcast, honestly. I love having guests who are from Italy and Finland and Canada and hopefully Portugal. And I've had a couple UK guests. And there is a little bit of extra cultural perspective there. And yet there's so much that we all have in common. There's some common solutions as well as some common pains and just some common needs. And when we can all realize that we can truly all be in this together, gosh, it just is so exciting. I just love that we can, with technology, reach well beyond our office bed.
Yeah. Yes.
I love my office bed, and I love that I can have a really cool meeting with somebody in Spain from my office bed. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad to see you here in Be the Glitter, where we talk about tough topics with giggles and we leave inspiration that sticks. So just by being here, you get to be the glitter. But even better, you can help me and help everybody who is a guest on this podcast and everybody out here who needs to hear the stories with a little sass. I call that share and subscribe, share again. That's the best way to spread the glitter and help save people's lives, help people feel that they belong, and inspire those to just be the best people that we can possibly be in this precious planet. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your sass. There's that too. So now I hope you've been able to catch your breath a little bit and continue to share more of your awesomeness, because this is so inspirational and enlightening as well. I think we need to know about a lot of these organizations that you're finding so important.
Yeah, so I guess I'll round off with the last organization, Food Strong. So I started volunteering with them maybe a little just under a year ago. They're an amazing local organization in Cleveland. So the reason all of these, like, I'm new to all of these like Cleveland things is because I just moved to Cleveland 2 years ago. So I am very fresh to the scene, and I've just finally found some nooks and crannies where I'm like, yes, let me in, let me go, let's do this.
I love that.
And it's such a great way to learn about a new city and meet new people. But yes, Food Strong, incredible. Like everything you would want an organization locally to be, in a place where you're encountering a ton of food deserts, you're encountering a lack of food education, like access to healthy and fresh food. Food Strong attacks this with so many different like levels and prongs. They have learning gardens where they're teaching elementary kids like what a plant is, like this life cycle, how you can do it yourself, how you can eat that food, how you can prepare it. They even have salad bars in local schools where they grow their own food. They grow tomatoes that are then in their salad bars. And it is just like this beautiful life cycle where they are allowing and sharing food, healthy, fresh food with kids that might not otherwise have the access to or the privilege of learning how to do. And it is just so incredible. And so part of what I've been doing as a volunteer is helping them brush up and prepare a new site of land. So it's this giant church that's over 100 years old. There's been some scary movies filmed in this church. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but it is off of East 67th and Superior, if anyone local is listening. They filmed scary movies in this church. Like it has history. It has history.
And black mold, maybe. I only say that because I was a zombie in a movie that was filmed in a church in Janesville, Wisconsin, and I literally got black mold poisoning from my scene as the zombie getting killed with an electric bread knife. And I had to like do this thing with my legs and fall over and over again for the filmographer. And I kept landing face first into this black mold. And I took one for the team, or several for the team, including a full fire extinguisher full of fake blood that they unloaded face.
Oh my God. You're a trooper.
So yeah, I get the scary movie and the old church with history thing.
Makes sense. It has the atmosphere for it. But yeah, so there is a lot of remediation and new construction happening in this space, and a lot of soil testing as well to make sure any edible food that we grow is safe for anybody in the community. So there's just been a ton of infrastructure, cleaning, building. So the goal of this church is to freshen it up, clean it up, make sure it's safe to be in there, of course, and then allow it to be this resource to the community for learning. So having educational classrooms, allowing people to have space to conduct teachings or workshops or anything they need to. So creating a community space surrounded by abundant and beautiful gardens that are accessible to the community. There's just like so much they're doing. I can't encapsulate all of it. Sarah Continenza is the founder, the leader, the goddess. She's incredible and she's doing so much, and she deserves so much more support. So anything I can do to help her, I'm happy to. I have not volunteered with Food Strong since June, which feels like a really long time for an organization I say I'm an active volunteer of. All that is to say that I still love them. I still want to be there. I'm going to be at future things, but I have been busy in my life, and it feels guilty. I feel guilty saying I've been too busy to volunteer locally with an organization I truly love and believe in and want to support fully with my heart. Yeah, I can't be there all the time, but I'm still speaking about it. And I know there can be a lot of hesitation of somebody wanting to like participate in volunteering. Oh, like I don't want to like just go and not know anybody. No, just go. Like, even if you can show up once a year, once every other year, no matter what you can offer, it is enough.
Yeah.
Anything you can offer to help, even if it's just talking about an organization that you care about, even if it's resharing a post, anything is something. And you don't have to feel guilt for not being able to attend every single volunteer opportunity. You don't have to feel guilt for not having the energy to show up. Like many of us are in survival mode right now.
Yeah.
And if you're worried about paying rent, if you're worried about surviving, I understand if you don't have time to volunteer. That's totally okay. But I also want to invite the sentiment that you will find a community, you will find friends, you will find people that care. And that is something that is a resource that we all need. Being amongst other volunteers are people that often I'm finding are people that don't know what to do. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty right now. And a lot of like the fellow volunteers I've met are like, I didn't know what to do. And so I just looked up volunteering around me because I needed to feel like I could do something, anything. That's it.
And
It's beautiful.
If you can show up to a volunteer opportunity and just show up with what you got, and instead of just showing up like a zombie, if you actually just show up with the willingness to just be there and help, what happens is that giving, it breeds more giving, right? And you get to be part of this amazing energy. Everyone cares, like you said. And oh my gosh, the people that you get to surround yourself with, and then the people that you get to impact as well. We don't know. I said this to some high schoolers in a journalism conference thing. I got hired to be like the speaker, which was fun. And I said, seriously, consider the words you're using. You don't even know what you will say or write that will impact somebody for the rest of their lives. You might not even remember saying it. You might not even remember writing it. You might not even understand how powerful it is. But somebody else will take that little golden nugget that they found out of you and use that to positively impact their life in ways you can't even imagine. I know from firsthand experience, I have had people literally reach out to me, and people, some of them I even forgot existed, to be honest with you. It was like, oh my gosh, that was so long ago. They're like, I'll never forget. You were so important to me. You said this thing, and I now tell it to my students. And that's why I became a teacher. We're so integral into this time in my life where I really needed to hear it. I was just some punk kid wearing size 6 men's work shoes that were steel-toed so I could be in mosh pits. When you just don't know
proof.
how inspirational you can be for other people. You just don't know.
Yeah. And it's to your point, like you don't have to be trying to be inspirational or trying to like make miraculous changes in the people around you that you're impacting. You just have to show up. You just have to be there. And smiling never hurts. Like being open
Have
to
a
other
heart.
people. Yeah, just listening, talking. Sometimes it's all you need. And another thing on volunteering is maybe you've been trying to convince yourself to get a gym membership. Maybe you want to be more active. Go touch grass in a volunteering position. You can do that. It's free. And then it has the same impact of going to a gym where you have the peer pressure to perform. If you go volunteer on something that has like any kind of walking or manual labor in it, you're going to do it because there's other people there doing it with you. That's a valuable free way to touch grass if you don't have access to a gym membership, or maybe you need something like a little bit softer before you start going to a gym or doing something big. Like that is a great way to get outside.
It smells better too. Like I now have this huge aversion to gyms because there's always somebody showing up that smells rancid, or somebody who's coughing and sneezing, but they're determined to get their workout in because they've got this plan they're on. And it's like, you're in this small space, or maybe it's a large space, but it's still like everyone's sweating and I'd rather be outside. Get me in that compost. I will sift that compost till we're running out of sunlight. Yeah.
That's so real. I am often at a garden because I have a couple of community gardens I attend and volunteer with. And then I also have like friends' backyards where I'm like, hey, I'm going to still be your friend when the summer's over. So I'm just going to start bringing plants and I'm going to start sneaking them in. So I have a couple backyard friend gardens. So often when I'm there until it's dark.
Yeah. I think of like garlic planting and Halloween at the same time. It's like getting the garlic in just before Halloween happens is like a thing. It's like my fingers are cold. There's no more light in the sky, but I gotta get it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, we talked earlier. I can't remember if it was part of the podcast or if it was part of our warm up to this call, but we talked a little bit about how important allies are too, and
Yes.
how it's so important for allies to show up, and that there may be even more allies than anyone knows because they're also afraid to come out. It's hard enough for anybody who is part of the alphabet gang to
Mhm.
come out as any of those letters, right? But then when you've got allies who are also watching the scary news, they might have a hard time coming out as well. So, do you have any advice for allies?
Yes. And maybe it's scary advice. Stay visible if you can. Be visible. Be publicly announcing your allyship. There is so much power in that. I have heard of founders that are trans that are in the early stages of their businesses that have received some funding, and they are in fear of their ability to maintain like access to fundraising another round to be able to keep their employees on board. And so they are erasing their trans identity and just passing and just putting themselves back in the closet in a way of just not authentically being their trans beautiful selves. Well,
Hurts.
and
Like
when
the physical
I,
toll of going back in the closet is something,
it's
it's
so much
physical,
pain.
it's emotional, it's mental. I don't think people fully understand just how dangerous it is to go back in the closet. It hurts so much and it destroys so much of somebody, their even ability to live. And then to change their LinkedIn profile back to their dead name or
Yeah.
whatever, it's devastating. And all we have to recognize as allies is that a lot of us love trans people, or at least absolutely don't have any problems with them, unlike some loudmouth leaders want to say. And there's another weird little phenomena going on right now where 23-year-olds think it's too late to come out. Do you have any? I would love to hear your perspective on that too, because you're a little
It's
younger than
never
I
too
am.
late.
Yeah, it's
Too
never
late.
too late.
I'm not even out to my parents. I'm 28. I came out on LinkedIn a year and a half ago, maybe. And I've been tearing up over here thinking of times in the closet and the fact that people are scared for their lives and they're going back into the closet. It is so difficult to lie to yourself and to people every day. And it is never too late to take that weight off of you. It is never too late to be who you are. You get a new chance every single day, every single hour. Even if you're only out to a small circle of people, there is so much power in that. There's power in the numbers and the visibility. If you can't put it in your LinkedIn bio, that's okay. I understand. Like that it's hard. It's dangerous right now. I've heard of people in my neighborhood, in my very LGBTQ. I live in a gayborhood. I live in a great place to be a queer person.
Me
Ohio
too.
City in Cleveland, it's a wonderful place. And I still have friends that have taken their pride flag down from their front porch of their new houses because they are afraid of incurring any wrath of any person. There's a lot of violence happening in the media, and I understand. So, if I could encourage anybody at any age, it's not too late to come out. And if I could encourage any ally, please be visible. Stay visible if you can. Stay present. Tell the people in your life that are queer that you love them. Tell the straightest people you know in your life that you love LGBTQ people. Tell everybody. Everybody should be aware. Stay as visible as you can. You
Give the
there
free hugs. Wear the free hugs. I'm an ally
yeah.
shirts. My partner, he's cishet and I'm not. And he proudly put the rainbow flag ally sticker on his tea. We're tea people, and on his tea mug, and he's wearing it everywhere. And I've got the rainbow sheep of the family. I love that.
Yes.
It is so important to just go ahead and just put that rainbow pin on. Or
Yeah.
I don't know if you even saw the Dairy Girls, the
No,
show
I
on
haven't seen
Netflix.
it.
So the first season, one of their little Dairy Girl comes out as a lesbian, and that's a whole episode. And then after that episode, they don't make a big deal of it, but all of a sudden, all of those friends in that gang are wearing rainbow pins on their
That's
jean jackets
beautiful.
and stuff. It's very visible right there. And it's just on every single episode after that. And I was just like, I need to wear those pins too. It's so important
Yeah.
to do that, to be
And
those moms giving out free hugs, like to all of the things, wear the rainbow belt and whatever it is, like that really invites a lot of hope
it
and
can seem
safety.
so trivial. Yes, definitely. It can seem so trivial that you don't even feel like it's important, but it is. There are people in the closet, people not out to everybody in their lives that are afraid. And when they see your support, they feel safer. They see a beacon of an oasis in a desert where they have a safe place to land. And we need our community to feel safe. It's a hard time. It's a hard time to exist right now. So if you can put a rainbow emoji anywhere, if you could put it on your body, on your backpack, anywhere, on your gym bag, wherever you're going, on your water bottle, if you can get a sticker, if you can make a sticker, if you can hang a flag, please do. Let people
Put
know
it
you
on
are
your
a safe
laptop,
space.
put it on your iPad cover. Yep, 100%. And show up to the Pride events. Show
Yes.
up as a volunteer. We need allies
Yes.
as volunteers as well. If you're the one who can help with the newsletter, if you're the one who can just help, we were talking earlier about queer career fairs and how important it is to create that safe space, not only to make sure that the people showing up as the employers are safe and are as inclusive as they say they're going to be, but that people who show up can feel safe and to offer them the resources to help them. We need so many volunteers who are helping with registration, who are helping with resume reviews, who are helping with job advice, interview advice, finding the right clothes that fit their changing body or fit their now expression of who they truly are. Maybe they were so used to always wearing the wrong clothes because they were wearing the stupid black and blue suits that didn't suit them. Like there's some really amazing ways that we can show up for each other and to offer each other support, even if it means, hey, do you need to talk? Should we set up a call? Because I'm safe and it sounds like you just need to talk it out. And I'm here. That means so much to people who need to hear that they're with somebody who wants to hear it out, wants to be there for them.
And I think it's important to note that, at least in my life and in my community, I have cis hetero friends that are afraid of volunteering at queer events because they're like, I'm taking space from somebody else. I'm like, no, we need you. We need allies. You don't have to be queer to be at queer events. You need to be there. You need to show that you care. Please come. You are welcome. Please.
You are welcome. Yeah. My partner's home. He's going, oh,
Hola. We need the allies.
oh,
Come over.
right. You can show your face as an ally. Oh, I keep dreaming, and I'm not just saying this. I dream, literally dream of taking a train or a bus or something to Cleveland to be there with you and Allie at some really awesome event that you're hosting. Because, oh my gosh, I love your energy so much. And I haven't met either of you in person yet. And I feel like we would just be like,
Definitely. We would be like,
so much love, the whole world will feel it.
yes.
Anything else that you would like to say? And then I'm going to ask you what we can do to help you and how do we help you? And who do you want to give some shout outs to? I know you're grateful for a lot of people, and I think it'd be great to hear who you're grateful for.
So I'll start with who I'm grateful for. Definitely Allie. Definitely Allie. We were those weirdos that found each other at an event, even though we were already coworkers. She's my best friend. She's my ride or die. She's my business partner for life. I would have quit. I would have given up without her. She was there for me
She says the same about you. It's almost
Yeah.
verbatim the same. I love it so hard. You two are so wonderful. Do you like the Wonder Twins? You two.
I should get hair as fun as hers. Maybe soon. That would be fun. But
You do
no, I
you,
love her so
Réna. You do
much.
you. Yeah, she's
I'm
great.
gonna do me. Yeah, I love her. I'm so grateful for her. Every day, every trial, she's there for me. And I'm privileged to be there for her. And that's so much. And then I love, shout out to my partner that lets me do, or not lets me do, they cheer me on along the way. They're coming, they are also a cis hetero man. And so they're cheering along. They're afraid of coming to queer events with me. I'm like, no, you have to be there. You have to be there. Come on. But
My
they cheer
partner
me
finally
on.
came to me to one for us at a soccer event, and he could feel it. He was like, okay, right on. This is great. And he actually did a little video. Let me record him saying like why it's so important to be an ally. Yeah, your partner can
You'll
do
have
it
to
too.
send that to me. Yes.
I
Yeah,
will.
your partner will inspire my partner, I'm sure. I'm also grateful for my cats in my office bed. I'm grateful for Daniel Dudley for reopening the Out in Tech chapter with us and letting it be in the care of us as we try to figure out what we're doing. And we're just building the ship as we're sinking while we go out to sea. We're just going to do it. We're just going to go. We're going to figure it out. It'll be fun. I want to thank every drag performer, every queer performer, every incredibly visible queer person who's out there doing their damn thing and spreading joy in being them. One of my favorite drag performers is Patty Gonya and all the work she does for our world. I hate fast fashion and I love that she does so much in her costumes and then in her own swag line. Like I bought one of her limited runs of sweatshirts and they're all thrifted. They're all secondhand, one of a kinds that she has printed her logo on. And I just love that. She's an inspiration for how to spread joy and do so without hurting our planet. She's amazing.
That's so
And just
and we're gonna go thrift store shopping together, just so you know. When I come to Cleveland, we're
we're
go
doing
thrift
it.
store shopping.
I'm a
with Allie.
professional thrifter and
Me
we'll
too.
find some fits.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm sorry.
And then, so how can you help me? What do I need? I need you. I need you to be you. So, and in whatever capacity you can, be queer, be loud, be an ally, be loud. And then if you have a business, you are curious about a business, you have an idea, maybe you've started something, you have a project you're interested in seeing go into the market. I would love to talk to you. Please hit us up. We're here to just give you advice, talk to you. I'm happy to make introductions, make any space for you that you need. I'd love to help queer people start, maintain, and build businesses and be present in the world of business and to make that happen. So anything I can do, I would love to be of service and available to you. Please email me at laveréna@newvalleylabs.com. Yeah. Or just come hit me up, hang out, talk to me about gardening, whatever. If you have an herb, tell me about it. Send me seeds.
I'm just gonna note here. I love how your version of how can you help me? Let me help you. That's how awesome.
Wait.
Oh, how can you help me? Why don't you tell me how I can help you? That would be great. Let me help you get your business going.
No edits. That's what I want. That's how you can help me.
Yeah. I love you so much. And thank you so much for being who you are.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
I think you are such a source of inspiration on so many levels. And there's no way that somebody can not feel something after listening to all of this. What a wonderful gift to the world. Thank you so much.
You're going to make me cry. Laura, you're a goddess. You've changed my life today. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being the glitter.
Thank you for being the glitter. I just help spread it.
Oh, you do so much. Thank you.
And now we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and iHeartRadio, Amazon.
Spread that glitter.
I don't love Amazon, but it's there for those who do. What are you going to do? We'll infiltrate.
Get that glitter in there. It'll spread and it'll never come off.
Thank you. Please take care of yourself, okay?
You too. Okay. I love you. Bye.
I love you too.
What an incredible conversation with Réna. I hope you're anywhere near as inspired as I am. I mean, the courage it takes to show up authentically, especially as a 28-year-old in business spaces that often demand a lot of conformity. It's truly remarkable. And those statistics about diverse teams having 19% higher revenues and being 21% more likely to experience above average profitability, that's not just feel-good tea we're talking about here. That's proof that inclusion drives innovation and success. If Réna's story resonated with you, here are a few ways you can take action. First, you can be visible in your support for the LGBTQIA+ folks, whether that's a rainbow pin, attending Pride events, or volunteering for organizations like Out in Tech. Second, check out New Valley Labs and the groove that they've got going on. Consider attending their events, both in Cleveland and online. And third, you can reach out to Réna at Laveréna, that's Laverna, at newvalleylabs.com. If you want to talk about business ideas, gardening, or just to connect with this fabulous human doing amazing work in our world. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to make an impact. You just have to show up, be yourself, and spread a little glitter wherever you go. Until next time, keep shining and be the glitter that makes the world more beautiful.